All right, welcome to the Explainer. This is where we take big, complicated ideas and turn them into something you can actually use. And today, we're diving deep. We're going to build a user manual for the single most powerful tool you'll ever own, your mind.
So let's start with a puzzle, a paradox really, that I'm sure you've seen in your own life. Why is it that some super intelligent people, people with degrees from here to Tuesday, totally fail, while other folks with, maybe just average smarts, absolutely thrive? We've all seen it, right? What's really going on there?
Okay, so that question, that leads us right into our first big idea, the intelligence paradox. We're going to explore that gap, the space between just being smart and actually succeeding in the real world. This really gets to the heart of what it takes to be effective.
We love to put people in boxes, don't we? Smart over here, stupid over there. But life just isn't that black and white. Having a high IQ or a fancy degree, yeah, it can open some doors for sure. But it's no guarantee of a successful or even a happy life. The real difference maker is something else entirely. It's not about the raw horsepower of your brain. It's something else.
So if raw intelligence isn't the whole story, then what is? What's the secret sauce? Well, it all comes down to one simple idea. It's not what you've got, it's how you use it. Think about it. It's not about having the fanciest tool in the shed. It's about being a master craftsman. And here's where we can see that difference in action. On one side, you've got someone who wastes time, who shuts down when they hear new information, and who never actually uses what they know. On the other side, someone who's purposeful with their time, stays super curious, and uses what they learn to make things happen. It's a total game changer. The person who masters the second column will almost always beat the genius stuck in the first one. And you know who was a perfect example of this? The physicist Richard Feynman. The guy was a certified genius, no question. But what made him famous wasn't just his brilliance, it was his almost childlike desire to constantly learn new things. He learned to play the bongos, he got into safecracking, just for the fun of it. That kind of playful, curious mindset, that's often way more powerful than just raw mental horsepower. It's all about being open to the world.
Okay, so we know what effective thinking looks like. But how do we actually, do it? This is where we get practical. We're going to dive into what we're calling the Thinker's Toolkit, based on the work of educational psychologist Dr. Hamid Moeini. This is the user manual for your mind we were talking about. So what exactly is critical thinking? According to Dr. Moeini, it's not this fuzzy, abstract idea people think it is. Nope, it's actually the study of our own reasoning. It's about looking at how we think, finding the problems, and then, and this is the key part, using specific tools to fix them. It's like being a programmer for your own brain, debugging the code you run on autopilot every single day.
And the good news is, Dr. Moeini boils it all down to a pretty straightforward 3-step process. Seriously, just 3 steps to start taking command of your mind. Step 1, you analyze your thinking. You take it apart. Step 2, you assess its quality. Is it any good? And step 3, you cultivate your character. You build the habits of a great thinker. Let's break those down.
So that first step, analyzing your thinking. How do you do that? Well, you use these 8 elements of reasoning. And the crazy thing is, these 8 things are always there anytime you're thinking. Whether you're deciding what to have for dinner or trying to solve a massive global crisis, you're using a purpose, a question, information, and so on. Learning to spot these is like getting X-ray vision for arguments, both yours and other people's.
Okay, so once you've taken the thinking apart, step 2 is to assess its quality. And you do that by running it through these intellectual standards. Think of these as a quality-controlled checklist for your brain. You ask questions like, is this clear? Is it accurate? Is it even relevant to the problem? Is it logical? Fair? This is how you stop bad thinking in its tracks.
And the final piece of the puzzle, step 3, is about cultivating what are called intellectual virtues. Now, this isn't just about learning a skill. This is about changing who you are as a person, building these traits right into your character. Things like intellectual humility, just being able to admit, hey, I don't know everything, or intellectual integrity, practicing what you preach. These virtues become the compass that guides not just your thinking, but your entire life.
All right, so that's the toolkit. Analyze, assess, cultivate. But so what? What's the big payoff for all this work? Well, this is where things get really, really powerful. Because using this toolkit isn't just about winning arguments. It can actually improve your inner life. It's almost like therapy for your mind. Here's how Dr. Moeini puts it. He says our minds basically have 2 competing sides, kind of like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
You've got your rational mind, that's your Dr. Jekyll. It wants to be logical and clear, and it wants to grow. But then, you've got your egocentric mind, your inner Mr. Hyde. And that part of you is selfish, it's biased, it's defensive, and it's the source of so many of our problems. You know that feeling of imposter syndrome? Or that nagging anxiety? That's your egocentric mind, your Mr. Hyde, running the show.
So think about that little voice in your head, the one that tells you you're a fake, or you're a fraud, or you're gonna fail. That's not you. That is your egocentric side talking. That's Mr. Hyde whispering in your ear. And critical thinking, it gives you the power to hear that voice, recognize it for the nonsense that it is, and just dismiss it.
And here's a fantastic little test you can use. The next time you're arguing with someone, just stop and ask yourself one simple question. What is my real purpose here? Is it to win the argument? To crush the other person and prove you're right? Well, that's your ego talking. That's Mr. Hyde. Or is your purpose to actually understand the other person's point of view and find the truth? That's your rational mind, your Dr. Jekyll taking the wheel.
Now, I gotta be honest with you, this isn't a quick fix. You don't just read about this and, boof, you're a master critical thinker. Dr. Moeini is really clear on this. He says it's like learning to play the piano or a guitar. It takes years of deliberate, focused practice. We're talking 3 to 5 years of really working at it to make these skills second nature. So yeah, it's a journey, not some weekend seminar.
And all this brings us right back to where we started, to that paradox about smart people failing. But now we have the answer, don't we? Intelligence is a tool. That's it. And just like any tool, it's pretty useless unless you know how to use it well. Critical thinking, that's the skill. That's what turns a powerful but clumsy tool into something that can build a wonderful life.
So here's the bottom line. Your mind is, without a doubt, the most powerful tool you will ever have. And the big question we're left with is, how are you going to choose to use it? Are you just going to let it run on autopilot with Mr. Hyde at the controls? Or are you going to pick up the user manual, learn the skills, and become its master? The tools are right here. The choice is yours.